Chapter 1. The Great Hunt. On the barren world of Zalthar, an alien race known as the Zerakai ruled over the land with strength and honor. They were fierce warriors, known across the galaxy for their intelligence, their unyielding devotion to their queen, and their near-perfect control over their environment. But there was one creature on Zalthar that even the Zerakai feared: the Vorthal. The Vorthal was a massive, predatory creature with scales as hard as iron, claws capable of ripping through any metal, and jaws large enough to swallow an entire starship. For centuries, the Zerakai had hunted the Vorthal in their great gladiatorial arenas, using their strength, tactics, and their best warriors to capture it and tame it. But the Vorthal never bowed, and each battle was a war of attrition. Many Zerakai warriors had died in these blood-soaked battles, and the Vorthal remained a symbol of fear, awe, and respect for all who lived on the planet. The queen of the Zerakai, Queen Uthira, was not a cruel ruler. She ruled with wisdom, and her decisions were rarely questioned. She knew that the Vorthal was a creature of great power, and while she admired its strength, she also understood the danger it posed. For centuries, her people had kept the beast under control, honoring it as a force of nature, a part of their planet's ecosystem. But everything changed when the humans arrived. Chapter 2. The Human Arrival. The humans had arrived on Zalthar in a fleet of sleek, advanced warships. They were unlike anything the Zerakai had ever encountered: smaller, faster, and far more numerous. Their ships buzzed around the skies like bees, gathering resources from the planet. They seemed to take no notice of the Zerakai's power or history, pushing forward with little regard for the native species. They were on a mission, and that mission was clear: take whatever they wanted from the planet. Queen Uthira had watched from her royal palace, observing the humans' actions with growing concern. They didn't come for diplomacy, nor did they come to learn. They came to claim, to conquer, and to profit from the resources of her world. But it wasn't until they encountered the Vorthal that things took a turn for the worse. It was in one of the great arenas where the Zerakai had once fought the Vorthal. The humans had found a massive beast trapped in the depths of an ancient cave, and the Zerakai, underestimating the humans' appetite for conquest, had agreed to show them how they had once battled the creature. Chapter 3. The Horrifying Scene. Queen Uthira arrived at the arena to witness the spectacle. What she saw filled her with a mixture of disbelief and horror. The humans had turned the hunt into a grotesque spectacle. The arena, which once had served as a place of honor for the bravest of Zerakai warriors, had become a slaughterhouse. The Vorthal was no longer treated as the dangerous predator it was. No, it was now merely food. It was trapped in a reinforced cage, chained and helpless, and the humans were now preparing it for consumption. The process was efficient and mechanical, like preparing a dish at a restaurant. Queen Uthira watched in horror as humans surrounded the Vorthal, who, despite its size and strength, had been rendered completely vulnerable by their technology. The Zerakai had never dreamed of treating the Vorthal as a mere object to be consumed, but that was precisely what the humans were doing. The beast was slaughtered quickly, its massive body butchered in front of the crowd. The humans, who had no idea of the creature's strength or importance, looked at it with a cold, indifferent eye. They seemed entirely unfazed by the creature's once feared nature. They had brought machines, medical tools, and industrial-grade knives, and they carved the Vorthal's body up as though it was a piece of meat, no different from the cattle the humans kept on their homeworlds. Queen Uthira's heart sank as she saw the human workers carting the pieces of the creature away, ready to be served to the masses like a fast food meal. The respect, the honor, the fear, everything her people had held sacred was now being treated as nothing more than raw material. Chapter 4. the unseen power of humanity. Queen Uthira was frozen, watching as the humans fed on the creature without a second thought. She had expected the humans to be barbaric, but this was beyond comprehension. How could they treat something so powerful, so majestic, as a mere food source? The vorthal was a symbol, a living embodiment of nature's raw power. Yet, to the humans, it was little more than a commodity, something to be harvested and consumed. As she stood there, a human stepped forward, a man in the same uniform as the others, but with a strange calm in his demeanor. He didn't join in the eating, nor did he seem pleased with the spectacle. He approached her, his eyes meeting hers as if sensing her inner turmoil. "You look troubled, my queen," he said, his tone calm yet filled with purpose. "You don't understand, do you?" Uthira looked at him with disdain. "You mock us," she said, her voice laced with fury. "This beast was a symbol of power and fear for centuries. We treated it with respect, and you turn it into a meal." The human smiled, but it wasn't the smile of a conqueror or a predator. It was the smile of someone who had seen the true meaning of strength. "No," he said softly, "we do not mock. We do not fear the vorthal. We understand it, and that is why we can turn it into something useful. You see, what you fear, we conquer. What you worship, we tame. And what you treat as a monster, we make into nourishment. That is the true power of humanity." His words cut through her, sharper than any blade. She had thought that the Zerakai's ability to conquer was unique, but here were humans who seemed to turn the very essence of nature into something they could control, something they could use. They didn't fear the vorthal, and they didn't worship it. They saw it for what it truly was, an animal. Chapter 5. The Turning Point. Queen Uthira was left to ponder the human's words. She had always believed that strength came from dominance, from control, from the fear and respect that others gave her people. But what if this human was right? What if true strength wasn't in fear, but in mastery? What if humanity's power lay in their ability to conquer not through force, but through understanding, innovation, and adaptability? As the human left her side, Uthira watched the humans consume the vorthal, their indifference to its former majesty making her question everything she knew. Could it be that the Zerakai had been wrong all along? That the power they held on to so tightly was, in reality, a weakness? The human had shown her that sometimes the greatest strength was to control and adapt, not to dominate and destroy. The Zerakai had worshipped the vorthal, but the humans had consumed it. And in doing so, they had proven that they could master anything, even the things that once instilled terror in the hearts of all who encountered them.